Air travel's back, baby. So long as you don't mind skyrocketing costs, fewer options, and lots of cancellations. And not travelling by air.
The airlines have cut down on capacity and there's pent-up demand because people haven't been able to travel for a long time in most cases, so we've got almost a perfect storm.
An ACCC report shows prices remain well above pre-pandemic levels. In October, the average cost of a flight was 27% higher than in 2019. A return from Adelaide to the Gold Coast is a whopping 156% more than just 3 years ago. Qantas CEO Alan Joyce puts the surging costs and disruptions down to a number of very familiar factors: enormous consumer demand, supply chain issues, COVID, the war in Ukraine, and the cost of fuel.
We've paid $5 billion for fuel this year, which is the biggest fuel bill we've ever had.
Luckily, the airlines have still managed to turn massive profits, with Qantas expecting a 6-month pre-tax profit of at least $1.3 billion. So will those sky-high ticket prices ever come back down?
I hope the prices will be much less by this time next year, but I don't envisage them going down much before then.
OK, so if flying is too expensive, how exactly are we going to get anywhere? Well, we did some digging and discovered something called This groundbreaking technology uses land instead of air, with metal tracks connecting all the major cities and many regional hubs. It's both cheaper and more environmentally friendly. And Aussies love it. Bookings across the East Coast have more than doubled.
The great thing about trains is if you get stuck next to an annoying passenger, you can just get off at the next stop. Would you like to hear another train fact?
So is it time to give up on a return to smooth, cheap air travel and get used to a more grounded new normal?
That was a fun trip, Tom, we had together, wasn't it, mate?
What was the fact?
Don't lie now, you hated it.
I thought we were done hearing the term perfect storm. Alas, alas.
No, there are a lot of perfect storms.
I know. And this one, I mean, it's just this time of year, right? Which just makes it so unfortunate. I know myself, I'm trying to get to Brisbane for Christmas to see my family after, you know, the last 3 years of COVID interrupted holidays. But I just had a quick Google before and it was a 7 o'clock flight on Christmas Eve was already at $1,200.
One way?
One way.
Whoa.
One way from Melbourne to
business?
Brisbane. Not in business. Yeah, me.
Economy.
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, so that it's astronomical. And then otherwise, like throughout the day, depending on the airline, it was like from $300 to $600 one way.
Yeah, I paid $400 to go to Adelaide one way the other day for the V8s. Waleed says he's going to become a train passenger.
I'm thinking of getting a train to Adelaide, yeah.
I hope you got a lot of holidays because they're very slow, mate. They're very slow.
Well, they're not. I mean, what?
They are.
Oh, gee, all right.
Compared to Europe. I mean, you've travelled a lot in Europe, right?
Sorry, I've just got Pricey's got the train facts. This is what
you were in Europe last year.
You sound like an accusation. You were in Europe, weren't you?
This year, and you used the train to get from London across to Europe, I think.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic.
They are
We've
great,
never been able to do it here for some
and
reason.
we should, and it would be great if we did. But I also have a son who is more obsessed about trains than even Tom.
Okay.
And so he would absolutely love that trip. So I'm definitely thinking about it. I possibly shouldn't have said it on national TV because it might have been a surprise.
Maybe Pricey would listen to your son and some of the interesting things that he would have to say.
No, he wouldn't.